Shalom to you and welcome. In this video, we'll look at segment bisectors. The objective is to measure or bisect a segment and then find the coordinates of the midpoint of a segment. Keyword definitions. The midpoint of a segment is the point on the segment that divides it into two congruent segments, that is, two equal parts. A bisector of segment is a point, a segment, a ray, a line, or plane that intersect the segment at its midpoint. So we'll see more of this in the picture. To bisect the segment means to divide the segment into two congruent segments. Okay. So look at here. If line M bisects segment AB, this is segment AB. So a line M bisects it. If it bisects it, it means 0 is the midpoint of AB. And also ray OP also bisects segment AB as well. So anything that passes through this point bisects that segment. So the bisector can be a point, a line, or a ray. So 0 is midpoint of AB, and the ray OP bisects AB as well, segment AB. So then also, let me get a different color. Then if that happens, AO, which is this distance from here to here, AO is going to be 1/2 of AB. So AO from here to here is going to be 1/2 of AB. And OB, which is the other side, OB is going to also be 1/2 of AB. Since AO and OB are both 1/2 of AB, then AO must equal OB. So those are some conclusions we can make out of the fact that line M bisects that segment. Okay, let's solve problem. M is the midpoint. The total of M is the midpoint of JL. So M is the midpoint. If that is the midpoint, then what do we know? So if that's the midpoint, that means the segment JM is going to equal ML. So ML is equal to JM, which is equal to 7. So JM is equal to 7. Therefore, ML is equal to 7. Done. They ask us to find JL. Okay, JL is the whole thing. So we also know that JM is going to be 1/2 of JL. So the half of the segment is equal to 1/2 of the whole segment. So JL we know is 7. 7 is 1/2 of JL. So we can multiply both sides by 2. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that. So that would be 14 equal to 1/2 crosses out 1/2. We just have JL. So JL is 14. And that makes sense because JM is 1/2 of JL. So which means JL is twice JM and ML. How about this? Line S is the bisector of FH. Therefore, this part 9x must equal 36. So we can do that. 9x is equal to 36. So we divide both sides by 9. then x is going to equal 4. So we are just asked to find the value of x. Okay, note that only segments have midpoints. Think of it, lines and rays do not have midpoints. Why would you think so? Well, lines go infinitely in both directions. Ray goes infinitely in one direction. So since you do not know the end of each one of them, there's no way you will know where the midpoint is. So only line segment, because it has end points. Only line segments have midpoint. So midpoint formula. So when you have like in a coordinate plane, how do you find the midpoint? It's going to be the average of the coordinates. The coordinates of which is your x and the y. So you take the two x's, like in a line segment like this. The end point here is A. It has x and y. The other end point is B, x2, y2. To find their midpoint, you take each of their x's, add them, and divide by 2. So that's the average. To find the y, you do the same thing. So let's solve problem. Find the midpoint of xz. Xz is over here. So we are looking for the midpoint of this segment there. So we take the x. X is -2, -4. Now let's label this x1, y1. And then z. So because these are the endpoints, the endpoint x and z. So z is 2, -6. So we label it x2, y2. And now we have our x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And because it's ordered pair, we put that in parentheses. So our x1 over here is -2, our x2 is 2. We have -2 plus 2 over 2. And then our y1 is -4, our y2 is -6. -4 plus -6 over 2. So simplify, we have -2 plus 2 is 0, 0 over 2. And -4 plus -6 is -10 over 2. And 0 over 2 is 0. And -10 over 2 is -5. Okay, so this will be the ordered pair. The x is going to be 0 and y is going to be -5 in that. So where x is 0 and y is -5. So right here is the midpoint of that line segment. Okay, one more. Find the midpoint of the line segment, this in black. So we need to identify the ordered pair here. Okay, so at this end, change red here. So at this end here, what do we have? Isn't that -3? So let's label it point A, and here we label it point B. So point A, at point A, we have -3, -3, 1. -3, 1. And point B, we have, point B here is -5, -2. So it's -5, -2. And let's label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So again, we take our x1, -3, plus our x2, -5, we divide by 2, comma. We take our y1 plus -2, we divide by 2. So -3 plus -5 is -8 over 2, comma, and 1 plus -2 is -1 over 2. So negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And this remains 1/2 or 0.5. And that will be the midpoint. So it will be at negative 4, negative 1/2. X is negative 4 and y is negative 1/2. So this is one about here. So it's going to be somewhere here. Okay. Thank you for watching and learning.